have hit start.
And I started a new business.
Website.
And this business,
People, okay, we're live. We're live.
1,000 times.
We're live. You're talking.
What?
We're almost live. We're really close.
Really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Biz4Good show up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah!
Welcome to the Biz4Good show, where we highlight misfits, outcasts, and renegades for the being good and doing good movement. We spotlight people that are changing the world by having integrity and honesty and creating an environment of connection, thus showing the true secret to success and creating a life of greater impact. So come on board and create your own Biz4Good Life.
Welcome to the Biz4Good show! welcome to the Biz4Good show. Welcome. Okay, I'm your host, Bobby Glen James, along with the Ryan Pilkington.
Yay, me.
Okay, I do a horrible crowd sound. Welcome to episode 91, B4G Life Principle number 4, people. Number 4. We're going to get it.
Whoa,
what is it you say?
Shirt,
oh my gosh, it's got a 5, but we'll pretend the thumb got cut off. There you go. Yes, yeah. Oh wow, that looks great on the screen. Oh, there you go. Oh wow, good job. It's perfect.
Welcome.
Episode 91, Principle, Biz4Good Life Principle number 4. We're going to tell you what that is. We're going to talk all about it today. Tell us about the show today, Ryan. But don't tell us what principle number 4 is, because we're going to talk about that.
So thanks for joining us for the Biz4Good show. This is episode, as Bobby says, 91, and it is B4G Live Principle number 4. Teaser to come later.
Later.
Hanging with the boys. We got.
What could it be? Principle number 4.
If you knew.
I interrupted you, Ryan. You were going to introduce the boys.
Yeah. To my left, I have Cedric, not the entertainer.
But he's super entertaining.
He's super entertaining.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And then to his left is Dontrell Morrow.
Amazing Dontrell Morrow, ladies and gentlemen, from the Dontrell Morrow show, right?
Tomorrow's
Soon
mentors.
Morrow's mentors. Yes.
I can do
this
that
is
solo.
This is officially, at least for this episode, our official team. Right here.
The team.
This is the team. I mean, they've showed up more than
dream
twice.
team.
If you've showed up more than twice, you're officially on the team. So you guys are, it's official. They are our
B4G groupies.
well, I don't know about groupies. They're actually, we're working. They're grunts.
Oh, they're
That's
grunts.
different than groupies. Yeah.
You're above that.
Yeah, you're way above groupies and grunts. You guys
Experienced
are
interns.
you guys hold the whole thing together and make this whole thing. Anyway, what are you saying, Ryan? What are we talking about? Welcome to the Biz4Good show, where two fun, adventurous entrepreneurs share the experience of the real secret to success. The doing all things with a be good, do good mindset. There is so much bad noise in the world. Let's fight against it with the good noise. Good against the noise. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitternist.
Yeah.
Insta.
You got to tell us about your adventure you had climbing.
On the weekend?
Yeah, you were flying.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Did you see the wind?
I'm teasing.
Oh, did you see it though? Did you see the
No,
wind?
I don't have a clue what I'm. Yes,
you saw, well, I put 3 of it. So this weekend, as you know, I wrote the book 8 Wisdoms, and in the book, the boy he climbs up this mountain with Old Man Chew is the guy that he climbs up this mountain with, and that mountain was kind of gave me the inspiration is South Mountain, where I live over there on South Mountain in Draper. And that's kind of the inspiration for that portion of the deal.
And South Mountain, for all those listeners that don't know South Mountain, it's a famous hill where paragliders go.
It is a famous hill where paragliders go, but before that, it was where the enduro motorcycle guys went up, and it was called Widowmaker.
Oh, Widowmaker.
Yes,
That's where Widowmaker
Yes,
is.
that is Widowmaker. It was then, and they banned people because people were dying.
Yeah, that's why they called it Widowmaker.
Exactly.
That's a cooler name. Cooler name than South Mountain.
That's a cooler name than South Mountain. Well, I will tell you, just climbing up that puppy, it's really steep. It's a very steep climb. A lot of the paragliders will go up there, and they've put a rope so you can kind of pull yourself up the mountain. It's a great climb. I love it because it really gets the blood flowing and pumping to get up there. But this weekend I got up there, and I don't know, the wind was a little bit down below. It was pretty windy, but up there, it almost blew me off the mountain. It was so cool.
You were like, you're going, here it goes, and you're like, just, was it lifting
I
you?
literally went into the wind, and it kept me up. Wow. I just let go, and it kept me up, and you can see it in the video.
Yeah.
And then the second time, did you see the second video too?
Yep.
Where I did it again, and that one I just literally was flying. It was, that wind was blowing. You couldn't hear me either because the wind was so loud and blowing so hard.
You're like, this is a guy.
I think you could kind of hear me yelling "good against the noise," though. Good against the noise, and it was awesome. I love the South Mountain. It's interesting because there's a lot of places in Utah that are really beautiful and there's green everywhere and stuff, but South Mountain is pretty desolate. But it's very cool to be up on top there and be able to see the whole valley, this Salt Lake Valley, all over. It's just really cool.
And into Provo.
Yeah. And if you go to the top, you can see the lake. You can see both sides everywhere. It really is a cool space and a heck of a hike to get your blood pumping. So it was super, super, super,
my hat's
great.
off. I'm going to do that challenge on my birthday.
This coming birthday?
May.
In May?
Yeah.
Let's do it, baby. We're getting up South Mountain.
I gotta tease people about my health journey.
Yes, let's talk about that for a second before we get into our actual show.
Yeah, we do have a show, people. It is
Kind
true, kind of.
Yep.
We're just kind of winging it.
And we got to get to know these guys too. We need to ask them some personal questions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, since we're on here, we might as well
get
dig
to know
up some
them,
dirt, guys.
yeah.
Come on. Most embarrassing moment? Be thinking about it.
Yeah, thinking about it. Why I talk about myself.
Okay, very good.
So I've bit the bullet, and I've started a journey to lose weight. I keep hinting at this over and over again, but I'm serious this time.
Okay, we're holding you to it, man.
You're holding it to me?
Yeah, we're gonna do torture like waterboarding or something if you don't lose weight.
Waterboarding?
Yeah, isn't that a thing? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
It is a thing, right?
Waterboarding.
I just
Let's
started.
hope it's not anymore.
It's not anymore.
Let's hope not.
Anyways, if you want to follow along with my journey, you can go to chargingelephant.blogspot.com. And I do have a podcast on episode 8. It's called the Charging Podcast. Charging Elephant.
The charging
The
podcast of elephants. Charging the podcast.
Charging
Smashing
elephant.
the podcast to pieces.
Yeah, Charging Elephant podcast, on Anchor or all those spots. Anyway.
So this is you're starting your 90-day challenge on Friday, which means tomorrow.
Tomorrow, one thing I got to start with a steak, and I haven't bought a steak yet. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
I got to start with a steak.
That's awesome. Go tonight. Go to a steak.
I think I'm gonna get a steak tonight.
Go get a steak tonight. And
so you do an
eat that
intermittent.
puppy up.
It's a 7-week challenge, 7-week startup, and we start with a fast, and then you eat a steak, and then you do some fast.
Are you fasting?
Carb fasting.
Oh, staying away from carbs completely.
Yeah, for the week, and then the 90-day challenge from there on out. So.
Just eating cleaner.
Eat clean. It's Mediterranean diet mixed with some supplements and not supplements, a product.
Yeah, which we'll talk about more as it unfolds, as your journey unfolds. Yeah. We're excited for you, Ryan, and we want you to be around for a long time, and we want you to be healthy, man. So take this on. We're serious about it.
Well, when you can't tie your shoes, you got a problem, people.
Right.
I got to tie. That's my goal.
And we want you to go hiking. We want you to go hiking with us, man. And
so next year.
Yeah.
Well, Widowmaker. I will not be a widow.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Where we go? Oh yeah, yes. Dontrell. Let's
Yes,
get to
sir.
know Dontrell. Let's dig into his inner psyche.
Oh my.
Dontrell has the best voice for speaking, dude. You
You're
guys
too
listen
kind.
to Dontrell. I could totally listen to him all the time. So go ahead. I won't interrupt.
What would you like to know about me, Bobby Glen?
Do you have an embarrassing moment? Something that just pops out in your head?
I do, actually. I have several.
Where are you from? How did you get here?
Yeah. Okay.
And then an embarrassing.
Okay. Let's get out the regular stuff.
Well, I'm from the great state of Texas.
In the house, people. I'm going to give you 5. You from Texas? It's only people that are from Texas that give each other
I
5.
give him a 5.
See what you? I just see what you do.
Haven't you heard the statement?
Stay out of Texas.
I'm feeling the
born
Southern
in
hospitality.
America, born in America, but by birth, Texan by the grace of God. You not heard that?
I have
statement
not,
before?
but that's a good one.
Yes,
That's great.
birth, American birth, Texan by the grace of God. No, something like that.
That
I
works.
think I've kind of messed it up a little bit. Whoever wrote the bumper sticker was much better, but it was something like
The idea's there.
yeah, we get the point, right? God favors people from Texas. I mean, that's
God shines on the Texans.
yeah. I'll get some hate mail for that one.
You probably will. So, yeah, I'm from Texas. I came to Utah for school, and so I've been living here almost a decade now. Completed my education. And
He has 14 master's degrees.
that is
Yeah.
not accurate.
We could go to the.
I have one, and I accept that one.
Yeah, I just wanted to build
You
it
have a
up.
bunch of degrees, though.
I have 4 total.
See,
We have an academic in the house, people.
But no, I like I said, I love living here. It's been interesting, learned a lot, and most embarrassing moment. First thing that comes to mind when you ask that question comes from when I was in 6th grade, and I was living with my grandmother, and she was my sole caretaker, sole provider. We were living in the state of Mississippi, and I was in middle school, and I remember we didn't have a lot of money, so she took me to go and shopping for some clothes, and she decided to treat me for the first day of school to some tennis shoes. The unfortunate thing is I went and got the shoes, went to school, thought everything was going good. Moment I got to lunch, though, everyone starts laughing at me, acknowledging that I have lady tennis shoes on.
oh,
And, I went through bullying a lot. Bullying for me started in kindergarten, so I didn't think of it more than just people being rude and mean. So I kind of ignored them. And toward the middle of the day after lunch, I remember going up to my teacher and just letting her know, look, these kids are making fun of me. They're saying that I'm wearing girl shoes. Can you please tell them I'm not? And she looked at me and said, honey, I hate to tell you this, but look down. And her and I were wearing the exact same pair of tennis shoes. My feet a lot smaller, of course, than hers at that point. And I just remember bursting into tears, crying. And she's like, honey, do you want, you can take your shoes off for the rest of the day. I'm like, that will make things just worse. I will just deal with it. And yeah, that was not a good day. I remember going home, and she had wrote a nice note to tell my grandmother and grandma. We went back to the store and took those shoes back and exchanged them and made sure that they were guys.
Oh, grandma.
So yeah,
dude.
my fun 11-year-old story, embarrassing moment.
Man, that's same shoes. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, that's a good one.
That was pretty bad.
Oh, yes.
Do you still have them? You still have the shoes?
I do not, thankfully. My feet started growing not long after that, so I was changing shoes pretty much every few months
Oh, yes.
till I was like 16.
Growth spurts. That was
17.
awesome.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
You got one? Oh, is it Cedric? How old are you, Cedric?
I am 20.
The big 2-0, people. He is no longer a teenager. This
20.
is a man here.
Good years.
That's right.
They await.
So in that 20 years, what was the most embarrassing moment?
Oh, man. You're going to start with that. I don't know. I think probably have to ask my family or my friends. I think I've blocked all those out of my memory. I don't think I have one.
Have one?
All out.
You block.
You know, that's nice. That's smart.
I wish I could block them out.
Right?
No football game or basketball game or... which reminds me of mine.
Yeah.
In a football game, I got my pants pulled down. I was getting tackled. I was getting tackled, and the dudes pulled my pants down. And then I'm in front of, however many hundreds of people are in the stadium.
Right.
It's a high school game, and I just stand up and raise my hands up and go, yeah, with my pants down, and then I reach down. I'm like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You took it on.
Just embrace it. That's great.
Yeah, I just exactly. Oh boy, that one I got for a year. That's cool, Bobby. And then I was holding on to my pants the whole time. I'd get the football, and I was freaked out after that.
What position did you play?
Fullback. Fullback.
Fullback.
Yeah.
Flipper.
Yeah. If they needed 3 yards, I could get 3 yards. Yeah,
With your pants on.
Yeah, usually with my pants on. Yeah. I changed.
He was like, hopefully.
3 yards is 3 yards. It doesn't matter how you get there.
Exactly. Yeah, this dodging people, I didn't do that. If somebody was in front of me, I just hit them as hard as I could, and I knew I could usually push them that way. Nice. Yeah, that was a fullback is for. Fullback isn't a... He's not for running long distances usually. In fact, I did get loose once, and I ran down and I was begging the guy behind me to tackle me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying here. This is so far. Oh, and right 10 yards before the end zone, the guy tackles me. I'm like, thank goodness, what the crap took you so long, dude? Jeez. And everybody was like, man, you look like you were in slow motion. I could have been in better shape, let's just say that. Sorry, this was about you, dude, and I totally stole it.
No, that's good. That brought to mind. I have one, I guess, in the same vein. In high school, when I ran cross country, and so the way that the race started on the track, led the first 100 meters, and then it broke off of the track onto some grass. And so I ran these first 100 meters. This is a 5K, right? So just over 3 miles. So it's pretty far. Race, and so we got off of the track and everyone's still clustered together, right? Usually it spreads out afterwards, but we got out onto that grass after the 100 meters and somebody flat tired me my shoe, and so my shoe came off. And
what does that mean, flat tire?
Step on the back of your shoe.
Oh,
you ever heard that?
No, but now I know. I've had it happen many a
I
times.
hate those flat tire jerks.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. Ow!
Right, and it came all the way off, so it was a pretty bad flat tire. And so I had to step out of the race. Everyone's passing me and everything. And
you're
wait.
hopping, trying to.
Yeah, I didn't have. So I had one shoe. And
you had to wait because your shoe was in there. You weren't going to jump in and
stampeded. Right,
smack
I would have been.
People, get out of my way! It's my shoe! Get out of my way!
No,
you didn't do that.
No, so I had to wait. So I picked it up and it was still laced, and I didn't want to waste any extra time. So I just carried it like a football the rest of the race. I didn't want to put it back on.
Yeah! Oh, that's awesome! The whole time.
Yeah.
For 3.6 miles, you carried your shoe.
Yeah. And it was only the second race, too, so I'd only run one race before that. So I PR'd. I got my personal record with one shoe.
There you
what?
go.
So,
you did?
yeah.
You, ran faster than you ever had?
Yeah, I mean, it was only my second race, but...
But still, you ran faster than you did with the race that you had both shoes on.
Right.
Wow.
Wow. That's a cool story.
That's a cool story.
That's cooler, though. The fact that you ran faster makes it even cooler.
Mm-hmm. And you stick with it. I would have been like, oh, this sucks.
From then on, that's kind of a luck thing. You should probably just always run with one shoe.
That's probably what I should have done. I'd still have a career in cross country if I'd have done that.
You'd be famous too, the one shoe guy.
Yeah, his Nike, what you call it, would just be one shoe. Just have one Nike shoes. You got the Jordans, and you got the Cedric one. I like
That's
it.
got a good flow.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like a Michael Jackson one glove. It's a
Wait a
Cedric
minute.
one shoe.
I just thought about something.
Yeah.
Both of their stories involve shoes.
What? Wow.
What the?
We should call this
Should
the
have went barefoot that day.
Yeah.
there you go.
Lessons learned.
Right?
I just when I was in middle school, the pumps were popular.
Pumps.
Reebok.
The
pumps.
Reebok.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
pumps.
I
I thought
had-
you
I
meant like
begged.
girls' pumps. Isn't that a thing? Girls
Yeah, pumps.
Those are things.
aren't
Yeah.
those like high heels or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay.
I
you
didn't
mean-
wear. I didn't wear the high heels. No.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going through that time. That thing. I wanted to be
I
popular.
did once for my daughter to try and get Justin Bieber tickets, but
I love that picture. You need to put that on Instagram.
it's me in drag, people. It's pretty.
Pretty
It's
awesome.
pretty interesting. I am not a pretty woman. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not a pretty. But those lashes were beautiful. I will say that.
I want to. I don't. No.
What? I don't think. Okay, let's move
No,
on.
I'll move on. I'll tell you after the show. It'll be like a thing for the after.
Okay. You're attracted to me. You can say it. It's okay. We have fallen off the track. Has anybody still listening out there want to know what Principle 4 is?
Ooh, me.
Dontrell's like, please, are we going to get to the 4 principle? Okay, where are we anyway?
Well, we were gonna have Dontrell run the show, and then now I don't know what's going on. So.
Yeah, we have never nailed that down, did we, Dontrell? Did we finally decide that we were just all going to talk and interview each other?
I think we would all share about our personal experiences with
Yes.
Principle 4.
Yes!
Yes, and he was gonna lead the charge.
He's going to lead the charge.
Yeah.
So, Dontrell, you want to tell us what Principle 4 is?
Principle 4, apparently, from what I'm being told now, hold on. No, I'm playing.
Coming in straight from God. Straight from God right now, Principle number 4.
Principle number 4 is a Biz4Good principle about the importance of service.
Service. To live a Biz4Good life, you must understand and comprehend the whole concept of serving others. Service. And with that, we were going to talk about our times of service, that we have done service for people and what that meant to us, if it gave us an aha or whatever that happened to us, whatever happened to us. So, Dontrell.
Yes. So, all right. I guess, and starting out, I mean, service is something you can do every day. I can honestly say that I find ways to serve in the community, whether that be my apartment that I'm renting out from my landlords, service with helping friends, helping people in the community. One thing that comes to mind that was a very memorable service for me. So when I first moved here to the state, I had to get used to the environment, meaning for me, the weather. Like right now outside is colder than I would like, but hey, it is what it is.
I hear you,
just,
bro. I hear you.
You just deal with it. So I moved here, didn't really know a lot of people, got a job at a local thrift store, and about 3 to 4 weeks of being there, I remember, actually, it's probably a little bit longer, probably about actually a couple months of being there. I had made some friends, people that I would, visit with outside of work. And one friend called me up, I'll never forget. It was about, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, something like that. And he was going through an eviction, and he needed help and needed some helping moving hands to get his stuff out. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll go. I don't have like a truck or anything, but I had a nice little Nissan Altima. And I'm like, and I can do a lot of runs in that if I need to, so that's fine. So I went over. We started moving like his heavy stuff. He had a trailer, thankfully, but it took all night, and we both had work the next morning. And so I remember getting home after going through the rest of that night about 7:30 a.m. and I had to be to work at 9. So I got home, got a little bit of sleep afterwards, but still had enough energy to go in and put in a good 8-hour day. And he was there too, no surprise. But I mean, that was probably, I think, the biggest, most memorable amount of service that I could say that I had done, just because I'd never helped someone literally move like without knowing ahead of time, like at least like a week or a couple of days. And never in the middle of the night, never all night like that. So, but it was fun. It was fun, and it was freezing. This was in November.
Oh.
So that's why I say it's a memorable night, because I'll never forget how cold that was. I had not yet acclimated to the temperatures or had the right clothing.
I was gonna say, did you show up and?
I had a nice little shirt from,
Oh, no.
a nice little like jacket, like one of those little hoodie jackets from Walmart. Nothing like really, no gloves, no. And it was in the 20s that night. So
my God.
after that, I invested in a Carhartt. I got to experience the warmth that those bring. So
Wow. So yeah, you learn to be prepared.
I learned to be prepared and just to always be ready. You know, that nothing was too difficult. And that I could withstand the elements despite my fear of at that point of being able to do so.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And what do you think for the guests? And let's kind of maybe distill the thing that you learned and maybe that the guests could get from it, like maybe how you felt or.
I would say if you take anything, like what I personally took from that experience is that's the meaning of, I would even say, mentorship or friendship. When you know that a person is willing to be there for you, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the time, that to me, I think, is the most important thing. And I know that friend realized that, you know, there's a lot. Someone once told me that there are 3 kind of friends you can have. There's friends for a reason, friends for a season, and friends for life. And I think that experience helped us to know that we were the friends for life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so meaningful and memorable to me.
Yeah. And you said mentor, which I think is interesting because there are a lot of coaches and people out there that are doing coach businesses and mentorship businesses. And I think the takeaway that you just learned, that if somebody felt that they had trust in you as much as your friend had trust in you to go out and be with him all night moving that person, how much more would I want that person to be my mentor or my coach or whatever? I think that's awesome. I love it. Did you have something, Ryan?
No, I like the 3 things, like be a friend and
Oh yeah, friends for a reason, friends for a season, and friends for life.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be the friend for life.
That's right.
All right, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Anyways. Sometimes I'm not.
You're not?
Try-
When? Why?
I don't-
When are you not the friend?
Sometimes
just-
just not.
So you just decide, I'm not going to be friends anymore
No,
with people. That sucks. Just going to close off the friendship for a little bit. Okay, I'm back in.
I'm a halfer. Anyway,
Yeah, you're full on. You're full on.
I do my best. That's for sure. Anyways. All right,
Cedric.
Cedric, all eyes are on you.
Okay. I guess I have a most recent one, but then also before that, did a lot just in like food banks and stuff. And
Food banks.
people are always dropping stuff off at the food bank. And so part of what we did is we would take the stuff that they would drop off and organize it into different crates and put the crates up and make sure the older ones were up front so you could get the stuff out before it went bad and things like that. And the way that it was there is they would come once a week and get their food for that week, and they'd go through this line and pick what they wanted from the crates. And it was only like, I mean, it was two hours out of our day, and it made the whole week for a lot of people. And so I think that was one thing that I learned, was just how much difference you can make with something that's not much sweat off of your back. You spend 2 hours one day of the week and make a lot of people's whole week and keep them alive for a whole week. So that was big. And I think, and then also recently, just over close by in Sandy, there's a garden, and it's kind of in the middle. I didn't even know it was over there. It's in the middle of a bunch of houses and neighborhoods. It's kind of tucked away back there. It's like the hidden valley. And
is there a ranch? I had to ask. I'm sorry.
And so, I mean, they have a bunch of food over there. And what we did most recently over there, what I did was just pick peppers and put them in buckets for 2 hours, and Anaheim peppers. And I think with service also, for me, I mean, there's benefit for us too, obviously, but it's doing something like that just mindlessly, like you're helping people out, but also you get to just spend the time and think about how you're doing and how things are going for you. Let your mind wander and figure things out, and doing service, that's probably some of the times that I've figured things out too. So there's always benefits for us too, not just for the people who are serving.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes it's a great place to get your mind out of your own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I really believe we'd have less drugs for depression if we just went out and helped more people.
That's true.
Because
I think that.
You do? Yeah, it's just, that's cool. Thanks. And I love it that the two contrasts. You guys are so awesome. He was all night long. You did it for 2 hours a time, and you both affected people. It's cool. Service is not magic, but it is magic. You know what I mean? It just, it always gives back to the person that does the service. It always gives back. If you want to get happier, don't try and drown yourself with the ice cream and the cake. Go out and help somebody. Ryan.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's up? No.
Principle number 4.
Actually, as you were talking, there's a place you can go in India. It's a community center, and the locals there, you go and get blessed, and you go in, and then they prep all day. They do this 2 times a day. They have these huge vats of lentils and a huge vat of rice, and then they cook these flan or naans, cake, the
little bread thing.
breads, right?
Yeah.
And you go in there, and it's free.
It's like an Indian version of a tortilla, right?
Yeah, it's really good. Love that stuff.
Yummy.
Anyways, I really thought it was cool because the community does this for the community. They come together 2 times a day to feed people. And they feed 2,000 or more every time they do this. But what you do, though, to be a part of it, you have to go in and serve, and then you get to eat with them. So not only are you, so you feeds the community, but then if you do the service too. You know what I mean? You go in there, you get blessed, you help with the rice, and then you eat with everybody. And there's no seats, you eat on the ground, and you eat with your hand.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool. We should go do that for a Biz4Good show.
Yeah.
We should go to India.
I thought it was really cool.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I know I say this all the time. We talk about the news, and if we watch the news, then we think everybody on this earth is a horrible person. But we're not. There are so many great, wonderful, powerful people in this world still today, and I believe there are more good people than there are bad people. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I believe that. And the media and stuff out there would maybe tell you different, but
that's why we flood it with the good.
Good against the noise.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a story. It was my turn, right?
Yep. Well, it's anybody's turn, but you can go.
Can I go? I don't know what we're looking on time, but
oh, we're totally over, but who cares? It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
that's right. So I was 19, and I was living in Durango. I was serving my mission for the LDS Church in Durango. And it was my first Christmas away from home, and I remember it was the first time being away from my home. So what they did is they rented a van, a big bus, and every year the ward or the church group would rent a bus, like a small little bus, and they would play. So we all got on it. We all wore Santa hats, and we went around the community and we sang carols on the bus. We blasted out Christmas music, and then we went to each stop, and it was basically ding dong ditch, right? But instead of just leaving,
a burning sack of poop in front of the door that they'd step on, you would leave something good.
we gave them. We were four families that we left at Christmas for. So that was my first Christmas away from home, riding on this bus, singing Christmas carols, delivering Christmas to those that needed it.
Awesome.
That was, anyway.
Super cool. I love it. I'm a firm believer in service. I just, if we did it more, we'd be happier people. Me and my wife, we like to do a lot of different stuff. We like to kind of challenge ourselves. Sometimes we've done things where we've went out and had our neighborhood. We've gotten like 20 people, and we go out and get food for some families. And we've done that before, where we go take them to somebody and give them a whole Thanksgiving dinner and stuff like that. But I remember one time we had gotten some friends together, and we had talked to the homeless shelter, the downtown. And we got a popcorn maker, and we got a
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy machine, cotton candy maker where you do that.
Charades.
Yeah, that was good. For those of you listening, I was doing my hand around, and he totally got what I meant. Cotton candy machine, and we did like a carnival in the homeless shelter.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
And it was so amazing. In the beginning, we had a bunch of donations for stuff, and outside. So at this homeless shelter, you had to meet some criteria to be in there, but there was a lot of people outside of the homeless shelter that were homeless, and we came in with all of this donated stuff, and man, they were just grabbing coats and this, that, and the other, and it was so cool. They're like, oh, thank you, because it's Utah, and it was cold.
Right.
But then we go in, and the little kids are just, the smiles on their face, and they were just so excited and happy to have this thing that their life has not been too great a lot, and it was just humbling, and I had so much gratitude for my life and the ability I had to make even a tiny impact on these people that were so grateful. I just was humbled by how grateful, and thank you for making them some popcorn and playing some games and stuff like that. It was just,
Put things in perspective.
it does. And I think that's the thing with service too. When you assist someone that has had a harder life than you, it makes you think, you know what? I should quit freaking complaining so much.
Right.
We're bringing so much stuff. I could talk forever on this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, service it really is a powerful tool. We talk about being good and doing good as a business model. And, of course, service is at the core of being good and doing good. It's about what you can do for the human race.
Mm-hmm.
As you were saying that, we got a chance to see them open the door and get their gifts, and that was the price of admission,
Right.
And then the past couple of years, I was part of the Festival of Trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a chance to deliver the trees. I guess this is a rare treat that not a lot of people get to do, and I got to do it. So I'm very thankful for the Festival of the Trees for allowing me to go. Nice. We went to 4 people that people donate trees to anonymously people, so they had no idea they were getting a tree.
Oh wow!
So we get there. It's like a week or two before Christmas. It's about a month before Christmas. Or it's Christmas time. And anyways, we got to this one family I remember, and it was a little boy and the lady, and we're like, hey, and it comes with all these gifts, and it comes with the whole decoration, and this tree is not just like a little dinky tree. It's a tree, and we have to set it up for them. And the little boy was drawing, and we got to look at his drawings, and apparently he didn't know this because we hid him, but all the little gifts, somebody donated this tree specifically for that little boy because they knew that he liked to draw. So all the toys were like drawing stuff.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
So anyway, it made me cry. It was cool. It was cool.
You mean you're going to make yourself
Myself
cry?
Yeah. That's this episode. Anyways.
Well, it's interesting. We've come down from goofiness to craziness to some, I think, some introspection, some contemplation of what this service thing means. Do we have an action item we can give the listeners?
Well, I mean, just one thing too is like when I was living in Denver, we were struggling, and one day we had the same door knock thing happen, and we had a whole Thanksgiving dinner for us. So not only I was able to serve people, but get serviced. Mm-hmm. That puts you in perspective.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I was just really grateful because I didn't know where we were going to get a turkey that year or the stuffing or any of that stuff.
Yeah, you never know what kind of an impact you can make on who. Mm-hmm. Just with a service mindset. That's all you need is a service mindset.
Yeah.
Where can you serve? And that can look 1,000 different ways, as we can see. So do we have an action item we can give? What do you guys think? What could we give the listeners? Some kind of action item. I can see. Yeah. I can see Dontrell. Its brain is going.
I would say honestly, just every day look for something. Like there's a church hymn that I love called "Have I Done Any Good?" And when I get up every day, I always think in the back of my mind, like, is there anything or anyone around me? Like, what can I do? But the easiest thing and the easiest way to know, because, sometimes I've even had the thought, well, I don't know what to do. Or I don't know. There's so many different things. You just listen to someone that's around you, that's close. Mm-hmm. Those close friends that you have or people in your neighborhood or community. Like, if they have a connection with you or they know you, they'll talk to you about something that they're going through, whether they just need to talk to someone or, it can be anything. And so I would just say, just listen and do the best you can. If you can't be everywhere at the same time to help everyone, but if you can at least do one or two things, do that. But then also, like you were saying, like listen to good media, uplifting things. Fill yourself up so that you can keep that goodness, that energy, and that strength going, and that mindset to keep yourself from not letting the pessimism and the negativity of the world drown it out.
Absolutely. That's and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take much. I know me and my wife sometimes we'll do give back date nights where we'll go. I'm thinking of one that happened a while back. It was pretty fun. So we go to a dinner place, a food place, and we spend the time looking at people in the restaurant and finding who we're going to buy their dinner for. And I just remember this time. It was this couple, this husband and wife, or I don't know, girlfriend or boyfriend. We don't know what they were, but they didn't look happy. They looked sad. They were hardly talking to each other, and I don't know what thing had happened to them in their life or whatever, but me and Momo both were like, that's them. That's them. So we tell the waitress, hey, we'd like to pay, but we don't want to tell them. We don't want them to know who. We just want them to be paid for. So we paid for it, and we left, and me and Momo went outside, and we sat in the car, waiting. Just to see. And when they came out of the restaurant, it was like they were different people. It was really cool. It was like something, and it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. and I don't know what was in their life what happened, but it doesn't take a lot, guys.
Maybe
really doesn't.
Maybe they were like, we're just gonna go out tonight, and we don't know what's gonna happen with our finances tomorrow. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay for this meal. And then all of a sudden, you do that, and they're just like, oh, now we've got an extra $40.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
May I share something, Bobby?
Absolutely.
Like, you just reminded me of something. Actually, I've been the recipient of someone's very, very good intentions like that. I remember I was, and this wasn't very, very long ago, I was struggling financially, but I had a very good friend who I had served on my LDS mission with, and he had come down to visit. It was his first visit back to Salt Lake since his mission, and he wanted to meet for lunch, and I wanted to take him, just because he was a great missionary. He did great service here. And I knew I didn't have a lot, but I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I will just, it'll be, a way will be made somehow. And I took him to one of my favorite restaurants, and we just sat there, talked a little bit, ordered the food. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I think I'll be able to do this, but I didn't want to let him know anything at all. And after we got through, like, with our meal and everything, he ran to the restroom. And the waitress came over and told me that someone had paid for our meal. And to this day, I don't know who it was. I tried to look around to try to see, but I just didn't know. But I thought, to me, that was kind of like the Lord heard me. Because that was a miracle to me, because I was wondering, what am I going to do? And I almost canceled with him just to say, why don't you come here to my place, or but I wanted to really do that, to take him out. And that was what was in the back of my mind. So your story reminds me of my experience. I mean, someone did that. That could have been what they were feeling. That's what I was feeling, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try and just hope that things will work out. And it did. So thank you for reminding me of that in my life.
Awesome.
Go out there and do some good, people.
Go do some good. Go do some service. You'll feel better. You'll be better. And if you have a business, use your business to do service. It will only help.
Cedric, what would you say? What's one thing
action item
people?
I agree with you. I think it's a mindset. At the end of the day, if you go out and you capitalize, because opportunities all around us to serve people, and if you capitalize on them, if you have the mindset that you want to serve, then you're going to be able to and help people out and be good and do good.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Love it, Ryan.
Love it.
You going to take us out, Ryan?
Yeah,
you got some last words?
I didn't even get to talk to Vlad.
Oh, that's right. We that never happened. Yeah. Vlad could take us out.
Yeah. I don't think he left.
He left. Vlad the mailer. We're not going to hear about Vlad the mailer.
That's a tease for next week.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. You got any last words, Ryan?
Hey, I want to thank Don Trail and Cedric here for being on the show and ponying it up today on episode 91. Be sure to like us on Facebook and all those great things. And we want to thank you for helping us with social media and doing the controls there. And until next
more
time,
to come.
More to come. And
on our way to episode 100. Ileana, shout out as always to Ileana.
If you're on the road, we salute you to traveling to Kansas.
Be careful on the road. She said they're going to be taking turns driving and stuff, so all through the night. See, when you're young like that, you can do that. I can't do crap like that anymore.
I got that.
Get down on yourself. Get down.
No, I'm like, all through the night.
Mm-hmm. We're going to keep going, Ryan, unless you take us out.
See how far I can go. Anyways, we always end the show with a be good, do good, hashtag 3 times. We're going to go crazy on the third one. All right, you ready? Hashtag be good, do good. Hashtag be good, do good. Hashtag be good, do good. And that's a wrap.